I'm Jackie Coffin in Butte, where crews are continuing the mop-up of a very devastating fire on Front Street at Ray's Heating and Sheet Metal. And I just got here recently, and they are still at it and still after the effort here. I talked to firefighters earlier who told me they still don't know the cause of the fire, and they're probably going to be here for another 24 hours trying to put out the flames, put out the hot spots so it's safe for them to go inside and start determining what caused the fire. I'm going to turn around, flip my camera around to give you a look now at the business. There's a ladder truck and another engine, two other engines on site, and you can see firefighters working to put out all the hot spots in this building so that it's safe for them to get inside and start determining the cause of this fire. Now, firefighters told me that they got the call about mid-morning about the fire. They came right away, but it was too dangerous for them to get inside. There were large flames, but luckily no one in the building and no one injured by this fire. So I'm going to move a little bit so you can see more of what's going on. You can see water running down the street carrying charred debris, and firefighters on the ladder truck again trying to just get all the hot spots put out of this building. It's still putting up smoke. There's still hot spots around it that they are working on getting out so it's safe for them to go inside and do more investigating. There are about 30 firefighters who worked on this fire today, as well as 4 engines. And you can see flames right there near the ladder truck. This is all part of the mop-up process that firefighters are doing at Ray's Heating and Sheet Metal. And that's on Front Street, and this whole area around Front Street is closed off. There are barricades in the area and traffic is being diverted around the area. I did speak very briefly with the owner, Ray, earlier. Obviously a terrible loss for his building and his company. But luckily no one was inside, no one was injured. And you can just see firefighters really working on this building. I did learn from Butte fire crews earlier too that no other buildings were damaged by this fire, but it is a loss of a big commercial property, and there were some very valuable things on the inside. It's very, very powerful, emotional to see, very sad. It's a well-known business in Butte. And yeah, you can just see the water running down the street here with pieces of char. You can see it running all the way down Front Street here in Uptown. The barricades around the area, keeping traffic and the public out. And as they continue this cleanup effort, we will continue to bring you any updates we know about what has happened, what is going on in it, if they determine the cause of that fire to start here in Butte. And I will bring you updates tonight on the KTMF KWYB News at 5:30, as well as 6:30, 9, and 10. Again, Jackie Coffin in Butte, and I'll bring you updates and check in with you later. So the big story tonight has to do with a devastating fire and the loss of a well-known business here in Uptown Butte. I'm talking about Ray's Heating and Sheet Metal, which you can see right behind me, and this is the closest I've been able to get to the business on Front Street so far today. And firefighters are going to be here for about the next 24 hours, mopping up the fire and looking out for hot spots and any flare-ups. And what they're looking at now is just trying to get into the building and be able to get fire inspectors safely into this building to look for the cause and the source of this fire. In the video we're showing you now, we grabbed about 45 minutes after the fire was called in this morning. Firefighters say they got the call around 10:30, and when they got to the shop, no one was inside, and the flames were just massive. And at the time, there was a concern about toxic fumes coming up, and there's still a lot of smoke sitting around Butte up in the air right now. Later this afternoon when I was here, firefighters were still putting out the fire with water, and I did see flames still coming up. Battalion Chief Bill Fisher says there were about 30 firefighters, 4 engines, and a ladder truck on this effort, but knocking down such a powerful fire was a challenge.
It was just a fire in a large commercial structure. I'm assuming there was a lot of propane, a lot of flammables, a lot of fuels inside there. Commercial structure fires are always a little more complicated just because you don't know what dangers you face on the inside.
Owner Ray Booth was on the scene watching the mop-up this afternoon. Fisher says no one, including firefighters, was injured in this effort. And overall, this is a very sad sight to see. This is a well-known business in Uptown Butte. Ray Booth is well-known in the Butte community. And this is the livelihood and the hard work of a lot of people here in Butte, including the people working in this shop. And Fisher says along with just the structural loss of the building, everything inside was lost, including some very valuable things. And again, there are some closures on Front Street in Butte right now as firefighters are working on this effort to make sure this fire is completely out and determine its cause. And we, of course, will bring you updates.